Now for my lab class, unlike my lecture professor who didn't give us any handouts except for one, my lab professor always gave us a handout, and the handouts would basically be terms, the terms and the meanings of it. And he basically said to know this, make flashcards out of this, because that's what the test is going to be on. And he was correct. That's exactly what the test was going to be on. He also did lecture on some other things, like he spoke about some things and wrote some things down on the board, which I also made sure I jotted down. I also recorded him. However, but everything, I didn't really have to rewrite my notes for his class because it wasn't that much, but anything he wrote on the board and the handouts that he gave us, I just put that all into a flashcard and just went over them over and over and over and over again. Okay, I also recorded him. I don't know if I said that already, but I also recorded him. And if I needed to, for both classes, if I needed to, I would go back and listen to some parts of the recording. Because even though I recorded all of my lectures and lab classes, I never really listened to them all the time, or at least to its entirety, because it was basically me sitting through the class all over again. So if I was going through my notes and I noticed there was something I didn't understand, then I will jump back to the recording and see what they said, or get more of an understanding on a certain subject, but I didn't necessarily do it all the time because time was of the essence, and there's only so much I could do each day. So, but it was good as a backup. Back to lab. When I had to know, like when we had to study the different models, because I feel like every anatomy and physiology class uses models to show you what the body parts are and the different systems and this, that, and the third. I came across this website, which was A1. It's called allpurposegames.com, and basically what you do, but you could basically make a game out of your notes. So I would take pictures of the models from class, send it to myself through email, and upload it on my computer, and take those images and upload it onto the website allpurposegames.com, and basically make a game there. So I would take the dots and put points on different parts of the body part, and put the term, put the name of it, and then after that's complete, I would play the game, and the game basically will test me, but it's more interactive, it's more fun, and less like dragging, because it's like a game. They give you a score at the end, this, that, and the third, and you can keep playing it over and over and over again. That is what I did for lab, to really understand, or to really remember the body parts. Because for the body parts, like, you just need to remember what they are and how to spell them. As far as like the function, how it works and stuff like that, I'll get into what I did for that next. So to understand how a part works, because anatomy, physiology, anatomy means the part, physiology means how it works. I believe that's how you say it. I would take practice quizzes. So after I go through all my notes, all my flashcards during the entire week, I would do practice quizzes, because one of my good friends, she had told me when she had taken it, the textbook that she has, there was like a link or something that she was able to go to. Like, there's this website that she went to, and it had like quizzes on the chapter, and she sent that to me, and I printed it, and basically I would do it by the chapter. I'll do it by the chapter and just take practice quizzes from that. So that was very helpful, because it gave me another look at how these questions can be asked and how to answer them properly. So I would do it from what she sent me, and then also I would Google like practice quizzes for endocrine system, or practice quizzes for neuroglia. I would just type in key terms like that and just do it. Because with my lecture teacher, when she would test us, it wouldn't be her notes. verbatim. Like, it wouldn't be exactly what she put on the board, or it wouldn't even be exactly what she said in class. It would be the same idea and concept, but it wouldn't be word for word what she said. So that meant I had to really understand what she was talking about, so I will be able to identify it no matter how it's delivered to me. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, that was for lecture. And then lab was pretty straightforward. It was basically off of what was on the handout, and then what he posted on the what you call it, posted what he put on the, what he would write on the board. And then the practical is basically practical. It was, you know the part or you don't. This should be the last point, then I'll wrap this up. So as far as like group studying, I did have a buddy who I studied with. We would try and study like at least once a week, at least, and usually that was the same day we had class. But other than that, like, everyone that was in my class pretty much worked, had full lives. So what we would do sometime when we had time would like text each other different types of questions, or if we need clarity, we would do that every now and then. It wasn't too often, but it was enough to like get a understanding. So that helped. And I think that's pretty much it, guys. Like, I think I took almost every concept or every type of way to study and did it to really get it, because I just was so nervous about this class. I really did not know what to expect. Now that I hadn't listed all of that, I don't have the grade of my last exam because my professors never gave us our quizzes back or exams back. We just was able to see the grade and that was it. So I'm gonna go off on the top of my head. So for my first lecture exam, I got a 79, and even though it's not that high, I actually was pretty okay with it because I thought I was going to get a lot worse. Like, I did not know what to expect when we took that first test. For lab, my first grade was a 70. Yeah, it was a 70. Then my second grade for lecture, because it was like back to back, it was 86, and I was like so surprised, like, oh my god. So I got 86 for my second lecture exam. Then for my second lab exam, which now had two parts, a practical and a written, the first one was just a written, I think I got a 63 on the a 63 on the written, and then I got a 86 on the practical. Yeah, that 63 really hit me because I was like, oh my gosh, I really bombed that second page. Anyway, then my third exam for my lecture was a 90, and I was like, whoa, I really wasn't expecting that. Granted, at this point, like, I really got a good idea of what to do, so I was like, okay. But that surprised me too. I thought I was going to get maybe somewhere in the 80s. Then my third exam for lab was a 98 on the written and 102 on the practical. And I was like, what? I keep saying I was like, but that blew my mind, because that was the time when we went over the bones and the muscles, and I was just so dedicated. I did so much. Besides making flashcards, I even made flashcards and put pictures on the flashcard. I did so much because I was just really determined to just get a good grade, and I guess it speaks for itself. And then for my last two exams, I don't know, it was a bit harder because both my professors put in a lot of extra questions in there, and a lot of trick questions too, I have to admit. But apparently it was enough to let me finish with an A. So I was like, okay, I get it now. I get it. Yes, these methods work. It's a lot, but it works. Because like I said, I don't have time to retake classes over and over again. So I wanted to make sure that I did everything I could so I can just pass this class and move on and not have to look back. And that's basically what I did. And honestly, I would keep, each day when I would go over my notes, I would keep doing it until I felt comfortable. That was the main thing. Like, I didn't just say, okay, I'm gonna give 3 hours to do this, and then after 3 hours, that was it. No, I made sure that I went over each thing enough where I was like, I can just tell you without looking at it. You know, if I wasn't to that point yet and it was like getting late, then I'll stop where I'm at and then continue the next day. But really try and put a lot of time into going over the notes, because I didn't want to keep putting it off and adding on to the next day, because then it's gonna get overwhelming. So that's basically what I did, guys. And as you see, it's definitely paid off. It helped. For A&P 2, I plan to do the exact same thing again. At least this time I know from the beginning what I need to do, so I don't have to like struggle so much in the beginning, because I know that was my issue. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to study in the beginning, and I learned as I went on. So yeah, I'll put the links of the different YouTube videos I watch. I also put the links to the different online resources I utilize, and that's pretty much it. Hopefully this was inspiring and this was helpful. I tried to make this as quick as possible, but I tried not to leave out anything. But if I did, ask me in the comment box below and I will get back to you guys as soon as I can. And yeah, happy studying. And if you are on your nursing journey as well, or in it, finished it, thinking about it, share in the comment box, like, you know, what are your plans, what have you done, or anything of value that you think anyone else could use on here. All right, so it's getting late and I'm getting tired, but I will see you guys next time.